Jinwoo isn't just a hunter. He's the hunter. This man went from being the weakest of the weak to flexing on gods like it was just another Tuesday. His aura alone is enough to make S-rank hunters rethink their life choices, and let's be honest, if you walked into a room, you wouldn't just feel his presence. You'd start questioning your entire existence. His aura isn't just intimidation, it's a spiritual pressure that turns elite hunters into background extras. If peak aura was a currency, Jinwoo would have Jeff Bezos looking like a minimum wage worker. Imagine pulling up to a raid, fully geared, thinking you're tough, and then Jinwoo casually steps in. No grand entrance, no unnecessary talk, just pure, suffocating dominance that makes even the strongest monsters start praying for a respawn. He doesn't just step onto the battlefield, he owns it. The moment his aura leaks out, everyone in the vicinity gets an immediate reality check. Jinwoo isn't just overpowered, he's him. But here's the thing, there are rare moments when even this absolute menace loses his aura. Maybe it's shock, exhaustion, or something beyond his control, but when it happens, it's like seeing a glitch in the Matrix. It's so rare that it deserves its own ranking. So in this video, we're ranking every moment Jinwoo lost his aura, because even the GOAT has his off days. Anyway, please press the like button. Now, let's begin. First up, the humbling of the weakest hunter. Before he became the walking nightmare of every monster in existence, Jinwoo was, well, this guy. The hunter so weak that seeing him in a raid was basically a good luck charm, because if he got called, you knew the job was going to be a breeze. No one feared him. No one envied him. And let's be honest, even goblins probably saw him as free XP. And this was never more obvious than the day his aura hit absolute zero. Jinwoo shows up at a construction site, looking like he's one bad decision away from a hospital bed. The other hunters greet him like he's the team mascot, not because he's strong, but because his mere presence guarantees no one will break a sweat today. Even Lee Joo-hee, the healer, takes one look at him and sighs, already mentally preparing herself for the inevitable "here we go again" moment. But Jinwoo, he's unfazed. He's used to being called weak. It's like telling water it's wet, it just is. Fast forward and they enter the dungeon. Jinwoo, the ever-optimist, is practically jumping with joy when he finds his first essence stone. It's his moment. He's finally making progress. And then cue dramatic music, a goblin attacks. Now, goblins, for those of you who don't know, are basically the punching bags of the monster world. These things are so weak they couldn't even intimidate a level 1 RPG character. But Jinwoo, he decides this is the moment to go full action hero, swinging his dollar store knife like he's about to land a signature move. And it shatters. Yep, you heard that right. His knife shatters, in case you were wondering how weak his aura was in this moment. But it gets worse. Not only does he fail to defeat the goblin, but he gets stabbed. Not a little scratch. Stabbed right in the stomach. Like, come on, man. A goblin, the weakest monster in the dungeon, just laid you out. At this point, even the goblin has to be wondering, did you really think that was gonna work? Jinwoo drops to the floor, his aura completely gone, his power level plummeting faster than his hopes and dreams. In fact, for a moment, it's like his aura evaporated into thin air. He was so weak, you could almost hear the goblin smiling. Thankfully, Park Gi-sul steps in to handle the goblin while Joo-hee plays her usual role of Jinwoo's personal medic, patching him up as usual. This was the moment when Jinwoo's aura wasn't just weak, it was non-existent. The goblin didn't even respect him enough to let him have a cool entrance. But hey, at least we all know he's got a killer comeback story, right after he gets patched up, of course. Let's move on to the next one. Imagine waking up in a hospital bed, thinking it's all over, only to realize your body's fully healed, but you're still stuck in some weird futuristic simulation. Enter Jinwoo, the weakest hunter who's just gone through the most traumatizing dungeon experience of his life. He's thinking, okay, I survived, but what now? Well, his new life is about to be way more complicated than a simple hospital stay. So there he is, chilling in the hospital, and the next thing you know, a blue interface pops up in front of him with cryptic messages like he's trapped inside a video game. The first notification says the system's going to help him level up, while the second ominously warns that failure to comply will lead to some kind of penalty. It's like the game developers are watching him and waiting to cash in on his misery. But then, Jinwoo discovers his daily quest. Strength training has arrived. The quest? 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run. Just casually throw in a marathon while you're at it. And Jinwoo's reaction? Yeah, this must be some fever dream. So, what does he do? He dismisses it like any sane person would, by lying down and hoping he can sleep it off. But little did he know, the system's not playing game. The penalty? Well, the system decides to throw Jinwoo into a desert. For 4 grueling hours, Jinwoo is chased by giant centipedes. At this point, it's clear he's terrified. He's not just running, he's full-blown screaming. Picture it. This guy, no powers, no real experience, just panic. The whole time he's crying, not even holding back, fully breaking down as he tries to avoid getting eaten. He's got the whole fight or flight thing working against him, and it's not looking good. And while he's running for his life, his aura, the very thing that marks him as someone of power, starts to fade. As Jinwoo screams like a child and loses his composure, his aura diminishes. It's like the system's not just punishing him physically, but mentally too. But that's not the only time Jinwoo loses his aura. Afterward, Jinwoo sits down, completing more quests, learning to understand the system, and getting rewards, like he's actually going through some kind of training montage. But in reality, everyone around him is watching this grown man talk to himself, while he looks like a crazed person who just survived a desert nightmare. His aura may not be gone completely, but in that moment, yeah, it was pretty close. Next, the aura perfectionist hits the ground. Literally. Jinwoo had come a long way from being called the weakest hunter. At this point, he wasn't just surviving, he was dominating. His power had grown to the point where enemies should have been the ones trembling, but just when it seemed like nothing could shake his aura of invincibility, he ended up flat on his back, and in that moment, his aura was gone. Hwan Dong-suk and his band of backstabbing lizards thought they had everything under control. They returned to the boss room, assuming Jinwoo had somehow defeated the giant arachnid with his expensive gear. Dong-suk then made his move, offering Jinwoo a twisted deal: kill Jinwoo or die himself. But Jinwoo, despite his inexperience, wasn't about to betray the man who had kept him alive. That was when Dong-suk decided to remove the real problem first. Jinwoo was standing there, completely unfazed by the threats around him. The system had even given him a mission to eliminate these 6 hunters, meaning their fate was already sealed. But then, out of nowhere, Kaiwan, the mage of the group, saw his chance. Before Jinwoo could react, a magic attack slammed into him, sending him flying straight into the dungeon wall. And just like that, the unstoppable force was on the ground. At this moment, Jinwoo still had his powers, no doubt about that. But seeing him laid out like that, that's when he lost his aura. Not in strength, not in ability, but in pure presence. A man who was supposed to stand above everyone else had just been introduced to the floor, and no amount of power could change the fact that, for that brief second, he looked like the loser of the fight. Aura is about dominance, about making others hesitate before even thinking of attacking. But here, Jinwoo had given them a moment of confidence, and that was unacceptable. Next up, Jinwoo versus Cerberus, right? So Jinwoo walks into this dungeon all fired up, ready to take on whatever's inside. He's thinking, yeah, I've been leveling up, I've got skills, I've got buffs, let's do this. And then boom, he's in the middle of a burning city, staring at a 3-headed demon dog with a name that basically screams, "You are not ready for this." Now, let's talk about how Jinwoo's aura completely vanished in this fight. First off, the moment Cerberus bit off his arm, gone. You cannot look cool while getting your arm chomped off like a snack. And the way he screamed, yeah, that didn't help either. If aura is all about presence, confidence, and domination, then let's be real. There was none of that here. He was flailing, getting tossed around, and let's not forget the part where Cerberus literally stepped on him like he was some annoying bug. The system must have been watching like, bro, we gave you all these skills, and this is what you're doing? To make things worse, Jinwoo had to rely on everything the system had to offer just to stay alive. Full recovery? Used. Healing potion? Used. Attack buffs? All of them, and it still wasn't enough. He was out here getting saved by the system like it was an overprotective mom watching her kid lose a fight at the playground. And despite all that, he barely won. Like this wasn't a victory, it was survival. If you walked in on the fight right after he won, you'd think Cerberus had already lost to someone else, and Jinwoo just happened to be the last one standing. So yeah, this was one of those fights where Jinwoo technically won, but his aura, that got left behind in Cerberus's jaws.